we have the Carmel Greyhounds up against the Cathedral Fighting Irish.
Coming off a tough loss last week against Fishers, 44-37. The Greyhounds looking to bounce back at home again, and get a tough win here against the Irish at home.
Yeah, the Carmel Greyhounds have a winning record at home at 5-4, but a losing record away at 3-6. So hopefully they can pull something together.
Yeah, that can show you what type of team they are. They're really good at it when they're at home and being backed up at the crowd. But like when they're away in like those tight situations, those clutch situations, they don't really know how to show up yet because they're a very young team, a very raw team. But like they're gonna be very talented, and very good for the next couple of years.
Yeah, Cathedral, from the looks of it, has a lot more size than Carmel. Hopefully they don't dominate inside the paint. Carmel should be able to protect, and hopefully they can do some damage on the perimeter as well.
Yeah, so the team focus coming into this game for Cathedral, for their defensive focus is definitely going to be limiting Izzy Shepard's 33-point attempts, because that's the way they're going to have to win this game, by limiting Izzy Shepard's 3-point attempts, because she's one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire state. And, this is in her blood. She's a third-generation Carmel player, and, she just does this every day. And, so they're going to want to have to stop their inside game, and, both their guards are really good at shooting the 3-ball and coming down and slashing into the paint and making hard finishes into the paint and getting to the line. So, for Carmel, they're going to want to have to stop their big men and have to play down deep inside the paint and play good help defense and try to pick the ball off during screens and passes.
Hopefully Izzy Shepard can do some damage on the perimeter. Our highlight player is Mackenzie Woods, number 11.
Yeah, she's the team leading scorer, and she leads the team in most other stats too. She's one of the top players in the state, and she's...
We'll be going on next to the commercial. See you at the half.
Yo, you sold that, didn't you?
No.
Well, I think it really just gave me something to do with my time, a new hobby. I mean, I made some of my best friends here. I don't know what I'd be doing without it, because it is that thing for me, and it really made the school smile.
Join alongside Dashaun Barnes, and it is a pleasure to be with you tonight as the Carmel Greyhounds taking on the Cathedral Fighting Irish. Getting started early, Carmel with the ball. Shepard at the top of the key, working right. Fisher with it, trying to get some offense going. Fed down low for Elliott. Ball is tipped, and an early turnover for the Hounds. Wilson swings it around. Over to Beasley now. Top of the key for Tiana Guy. Beasley taking her time. Cathedral using a lot of the wing right now, trying to feed it down low. Can't find it yet. Down low for Lewis. Back out into the corner. Shot is no good from range by Jada Wilson. Rebound Hounds. Pushing tempo now. Fisher with it on the wing. Down low to Elliott. Pass back to Fisher. Tries to get it out to Lauren Perry, and it's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay right here.
And just in those early possessions of the game, you can see the differences in offenses ran. For the Irish, they're a little bit slower, looking for that perfect shot, looking for the mismatch down in the post. And Carmel really likes to get out early with pace and get to the basket.
Kenzie Woods has it at the top of the key. Now for Jamie Elliott. Shepard driving into the corner for Perry. Her shot, no good. Rebound Irish. Catherine Klein pushing tempo now. She'll take it herself. Teardrop floater and one. And the first points of the game scored by Catherine Klein, and she'll go to the line for one more. The end one is good, making it a 3-point play for Klein. Woods with it, gets the screen. Into the corner for Fisher and back out for Shepard. Shepard has it poked away. Tiana Guy driving. with the left hand and stripped out of bounds by Izzy Shepard.
And early in this game, we're already seeing one of the problems that both Carmel boys and girls can struggle with sometimes, and that's just getting the energy up early. And it seems like Cathedral is just out-energizing Carmel right now.
Wilson has it in the corner, backed out for Beasley. Fed down low for Lewis. Lewis working in the paint. Poked away and taken back by Mackenzie Woods. Woods has it. Now in the corner. Airballed by Izzy Shepard. And a whistle will be blown.
And another quick but unsuccessful possession there for Carmel. May need to slow it down and find a better shot.
Definitely, Dashaun, as Jada Wilson has it at the top of the key. Cathedral throwing it away. Coming our way, and a off-ball foul on Catherine Klein, trying to chase after the potential out of bounds. It's Fisher with it. Now Shepard. Fisher at the top of the key. Trying to drive. She gets some room, and her shot is good.
What a beautiful shot there by Taryn Fisher, able to shrug off that air ball from the previous possession and get a nice bucket for two.
Klein has it on the wing. Now for Abby Beasley. A lot of contact over there with Isabel Shepard and Tiana Guy. Now Guy with it. Trying to make some room. Irish trying to find a pass down low and cannot find one. Wilson holding it at the top of the key. Cathedral really just swinging it around the wing right now from behind the arc. Carmel fans starting to get impatient. Taylor Lewis inside the arc now, trying to work. An excellent defense by Lauren Perry. Guy with it. She gets her screen. Fed down low. Pass is tipped away by Shepard. And it's taken back by Fisher. She's got an open lane, and she cannot finish on the fast break. Boarded up by Cathedral.
And that was what felt like a 2-minute possession there for Cathedral. They are really taking their time here on offense.
Well, with an early 3-2 lead, why not? Wilson with it, no room to work. Swung around for Beasley. Down low for Wilson. She's got no windows. Carmel is a brick wall so far tonight. Wilson driving. Cannot finish. Rebounded by Carmel. Mackenzie Woods with it. She finds Shepard. Her shot. No good. Rebound Elliott. She finds Lauren Perry at the top of the key. Now Mackenzie Woods slowing it down. Over on the wing for Perry. Her three. No good.
And what has been a fantastic...
And a steal by Taryn Fisher. And a chance for redemption, and she gets it. And a timeout called by Cathedral.
And although this is only a 1-point lead for the Greyhounds, they're completely dominating this game so far, in my opinion. A fantastic defensive effort. They're just not able to finish their looks. We saw Taryn Fisher smoke the layup in transition earlier. A couple of missed threes from Lauren Perry that are usually going to fall. So they just got to keep doing what they're doing, hope that these shots fall, clean up the little mistakes, and they should be pretty good out there.
Yeah, Carmel right now is really just not giving them the chance to shoot, and so the only time that they get the ball is on turnovers, and so that's really limiting the offense, which that might be the approach Cathedral Cathedral's taking is limit the possessions that Carmel gets, but so far, not a whole lot of scoring going on, but some excellent defense on both sides.
Very, very true. We'll see how long Cathedral keeps going with this strategy of using up as much of the clock as they can.
It'll be Abby Beasley taking it across the court for Cathedral. She's guarded by Fisher. Klein with it, feeding down low for Taylor. Trying to work it around, cannot. And now a floater by Tiana Guy, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. And that may just be the way that Cathedral gets their points tonight, is getting bailed out on a foul because they're not getting open shots.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, I don't have the best angle over here, but one, that was a sort of a late call, and 2 was a pretty soft call. But Carmel's been amazing defensively all night, so if they keep that up, I'm sure they'll be fine.
The first free throw's no good as Taryn Fisher takes a seat. And 1 for 2 goes Guy. Woods taking it across the time stripe. Driving. Over for Elliott. Elliott's shot is no good. Rebound Taylor. Now Catherine Klein with it. Feeding down low. Some contact by Megan Hom. Now back out for Klein. Her 3, way too strong. And it'll stay right here.
So far in this game, Cathedral just has not been able to generate much offense. Obviously, we saw the and one and the floater from the free throw, but besides that, just not much going on.
Guy for 3, no good. Rebound Elliott. Mackenzie Woods trying to start a fast break. She's triple teamed. Back out for Perry. Perry's driving. Her pass is tipped. Now Izzy Shepard with it. Perry around for Hom. Great defense by the Irish. Woods slowing it down. Just 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. Megan Hom with it. We saw her have a great game here a few weeks earlier. Fed down low for Elliott, and she dribbles off of her foot, and it goes out of bounds.
And although Carmel hasn't come by a lot of buckets, just like Cathedral, I really like the offense they're running right now. They're setting a lot of pin-down screens and off-ball screens for their shooters, especially Lauren Perry. Cathedral's just doing a great job covering it.
Fisher comes back in, giving Mackenzie Woods a break. Beasley with it. Taking her time. Now to Lewis. Into the corner for Guy. Guy dribbles it back out. Just over 20 seconds to play. Trying to feed it down low. Pass is way too strong and it goes out of bounds. Trying to find Taylor Lewis, the center, but pass was just way too high for her.
And with just 19 seconds left in such a low-scoring game, we'll see if Carmel tries to use up the rest of this clock and get the last shot.
Taryn Fisher running the point right now. She gets her pick. She shoots a 3. No good. Rebound Lewis, and a jump ball is called. It'll stay here for Carmel.
And it's just the little things like that that will help you win games like this when they're close. Megan Hom quickly goes over to the rebounder and forces the jump ball.
Yeah, Hom comes off the bench. She's kind of that 6-man, but she's scrappy. As an inbound layup for Elliott is no good. And the time expires here in the first quarter, and a nail-biting 4-4 game after a quarter.
Close, very slow offensive game, but the score doesn't tell the whole story. I think there was 3 smoked layups there for the Greyhounds. Would have tacked on an extra 6 points. Maybe if you hit a 3 or 2, that lead is extended even more. Just some things we got to clean up, and the Greyhounds should be in pretty good shape. But for Cathedral, on the other hand, things are looking really rough out there. Not too much offense going on. They're really just running a lot of isolation basketball, trying to get to the rim, and the Greyhounds are just doing a great job defensively.
Yeah, we're seeing great defense on both sides, so when Carmel can't, complete on those opportunities, that could be the difference of the game, where you say, hey, you missed 3 layups in the first quarter. That could cost you. That did cost you 6 points, and it could cost you 6 points in this game.
That is very true. Hopefully they can clean that up here in the second quarter and the rest of the game.
It'll be Irish ball here to start the second quarter. Tiana Guy inbounding to Abby Beasley. Riley McBride in for Carmel, her first minutes of the game. Klein on the wing. Now swung around for Guy. Trying to find Klein down low. She's heavily guarded by Taryn Fisher. Now an entry pass is interrupted and taken back by Izzy Shepard. Hom with it. She's driving. She's got a lane. Trying to take on the big man. She cannot. Rebounded by Shepard. She doesn't get the call. Swung back out for Fisher. Her shot is no good. Rebounded by Taylor Lewis. Cathedral pushing tempo now. And a whistle is blown. Looks like an off-ball foul. And it'll be swung around for Carmel.
And that was a great call there. I was just about to talk about the small ball lineup that the Greyhounds are running right now, and that works only when you're aggressive on those entry passes, and it just looks like the Cathedral Center was getting a little frustrated, and that's just what happens when you're going up against a great defense like that.
Well, Jada Wilson checks back in for Cathedral, and she's an issue being the leading scorer averaging 12.9 a game. As driving and unable to finish is Mackenzie Woods, but she gets fouled and she'll go to the line. So Lewis commits her second foul, and that could potentially be an issue for Cathedral. We know that she's kind of that big body in the paint for this team, and so if you start tacking up fouls from her, as the first free throw by Woods is good, that could be a problem as they check her out of the game, because you need her to be here for the rest of this ride.
Very true. Not only does she average about halfway to 12 points at 11 and a half, she also averages 10 rebounds a game, a double-double, which is the only player on this roster to be doing that.
Between either roster, actually. It's Wilson with it, trying to drive. She's double-teamed. Now back out for Guy. Fed down low for Klein. Off the glass, cannot finish. Rebounding and unable to finish is Tatum Triggs. And a foul is called.
And that's what you get when you run a small lineup like this. Although it seems to be working pretty well so far, you're probably going to end up giving up a lot more of those offensive rebounds.
First free throw is good by Triggs. One of the few sophomores on this lineup. Triggs goes 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Hom with the rebound. She's moving fast. Now Fisher with it on the wing. Swung around for Mackenzie Woods. She'll bring it back to top of the key. Now Hom with it. She hesitates. Now driving. On a little bit of a mismatch. Gets past her guy. Throws it up and finishes for 2 more.
And that was a nice bucket right there. She rejected the stream, drove left, and puts up a nice left-handed layup. What a bucket by Megan Hom.
Carmel's defense still stingy as ever. Swung around for Wilson. She's driving. And what a rejection by Taryn Fisher. Oh my goodness. And she gets the steal. She's driving. taking on 3 defenders, cannot finish, which will go to the line.
And she is having herself a game so far. Already multiple steals. She had that nice chase down block, and it looked like she almost let the blow by go by on purpose. And then she just sent that ball right back.
First free throw is good. Lauren Perry back in. And Fisher's perfect from the stripe. Wilson moving quickly now. On the wing for Tiana Guy. Fed down low for Triggs. She puts it up. No good. Back out for Jada Wilson. Now it's Catherine Klein. Beasley slowing it down. Hesitating, driving in, unable to finish is Jada Wilson, and it's going back the other way.
And just an amazing defensive effort, as it has been all night for the Greyhounds.
Izzy Shepard with it. Now it's Lauren Perry. Woods driving. Feeding down low for Shepard. She puts it up and it's rejected. Rebound Catherine Klein. Just under 5 to play here in the second quarter. Pass nearly into the backcourt. Trying to find Abby Beasley. Now it's Tiana Guy bringing it back to the top of the key. Wilson holding it, now fed down low for Triggs. Triggs gets it back out for Guy, and she's driving. Off the glass, cannot finish. Rebound by Triggs, she puts it back in. Fish with it, gets it over to Woods, top of the key. Perry catches the pass, gets it right back to Woods, now Megan Hom. Jamie Elliott getting ready to check back in for the Hounds. Hom driving with the left hand, and she draws the foul.
And Hom and the rest of the Greyhound squad continues to be aggressive in this game on both ends of the floor, forcing a lot of turnovers and getting to the free throw line, resulting in lots of free throws here.
First free throw is an ugly one. Reagan Gilmore checks back in for the Irish. Hom goes 1 for 2 from the line. And Elliott is back in for the Hounds. More with it at the top of the key. Now Abby Beasley slowing it down. Wilson makes her man miss and gets the floater to go.
And what a move and a score here by Cathedral's leading scorer, Jada Wilson. She averages just about 13 points per game coming into this game, and a real threat for this Irish roster.
3 minutes to go here in the first half. Woods driving, takes on 3 players, and scores.
And that's what Mackenzie Woods does best, penetrating the defense and finishing at the rim.
Pushing the tempo now is the Irish. Swung around for Jada Wilson. Now it's Beasley with it. Wilson trying to find an open man, cannot. Now it's Tiana Guy. Back up for Beasley. Irish is swinging it behind the arc right now. As pass is tipped and taken back by the Hounds. 2:17 to play. Taryn Fisher with it. Fisher brings it back. It's her team to get set. Lauren Perry with it on the right side. Carmel taking their time now. Jamie Elliott trying to work it down low for Mackenzie Woods. She loses the ball, gets it right back, puts her defender on ice skates and cannot finish. Rebounded up by Tiana Guy. Irish have an open lane, driving, and no foul is called on for Reagan Gilmore. Pass going out of bounds, saved by Lauren Perry, and the Irish retain it, but she stepped out of bounds. Abby Beasley with the turnover. It's going back Carmel's way. Fisher with it. Heavily guarded by Wilson. Just over 1 minute to play. Izzy Shepard driving. Now to Fisher. Shepard for three. It's good.
And the first three of the night falls for the Greyhounds. And that's a good one you want to hit right before the half. Just increase this lead a little bit and go in with a comfortable cushion into that.
Hounds hoping to get one more possession here in this half as a reach-in foul is called on Izzy Shepard. Little ticky-tack what we've seen so far tonight, but it was a foul. As Riley McBride checks back in. Pass inbound decline. Working down low. Turning and finishing. Falls out of bounds. The last shot of this half. Beasley with it. 2 seconds. Ball goes out of bounds. And less than a second now for Carmel to try to heave something up and go into this half extra happy. And they'll just let it wind down. As we go out of the first half, score is 15-11. Hounds are leading.
Yep, and a pretty heavily contested game here. Not too much offensive production, but on the defensive side of the ball, both teams have played phenomenally well, and I'm looking forward to a close and hopefully fun second half.
Yeah, well, we knew going into this, neither one of these teams played exceptionally close games. Carmel winning by an average of 10, losing by 15. But so far, a very close game, and hopefully it'll stay that way.
Welcome back, Greyhounds. My name is Nate Greigo, and this is
Uchenyo, Ojata.
at the half. The leading scorer for the Greyhounds is Taryn Fisher with 6 points. She's been dominant this half. Really been able to penetrate inside and work the ball in.
Yeah, she's been really good against the inside slashing, using her off-dribble moves in a bunch of off-speed moves to get past the defenders, a lot of change in speed to get to the rim, and she's doing really good at finishing down the rim right now.
Offensively, the Greyhounds have not struggled at all. They've done pretty good here with 15 points at the half. A lot of turnovers, a lot of mental mistakes, but hopefully they can overcome.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to overcome this, especially with their lead that they have right now. I think they'll be able to fight through the rest of this, keep this lead going, keep everything going, especially since they're at home with the family out here, especially with the future like Greyhound night. I think they're definitely going to be ready to come out here and put together a full game.
And that has been your halftime show. Now to commercials.
I started yearbook back in like 8th grade, and when I stopped playing volleyball freshman year, I guess it was very much my new thing is what I like to call it. I think it really just gave me something to do with my time, a new hobby. I mean, I made some of my best friends here. I don't know what I'd be doing without it, because it is that thing for me, and it really made the school small. I started yearbook back in like 8th grade, and when I
Welcome back to the second half. I am still Boudouris with Dashaun Barnes. Pleasure to be with you tonight. Hounds leading 15-11 going into the second half. Dashaun, what are you seeing out there?
Not much offensively and a whole lot defensively. This has been a defensive-oriented game with the Greyhounds showing just a little bit more edge on defense, getting one more three to go and a couple of free throws. That's just the difference between these two. Just a 4-point lead in what feels like should be a double-digit lead.
Well, Carmel has the ball to start the second half. It's Mackenzie Woods working on the right side. Woods now driving, trying to find something inside, cannot. All 5 Hounds working around the arc. Izzy Shepard with it. She finds some breathing room, she's driving, and she finishes with the right hand.
And a good bucket there and a statement bucket to start the game. Quickly getting to the basket and getting the bucket.
Beasley feeds it down low for Lewis. Now fed back out. Wilson mid-range, no good, rebounded by Elliott. One minute into the second half as a three-pointer by Izzy Shepard is well off the mark. Rebounded by the Irish. Wilson driving, she spins, stripped away by Lauren Perry, and it will stay right here.
And Wilson is really trying to get to the basket here, but Carmel is playing sort of a collapse sort of defense where they're nearly allowing the Irish to shoot threes because they really don't shoot the ball well from outside the arc as a team.
Beasley in the corner, swung back around to the top for Wilson. Now Klein on the wing, heavily guarded by Shepard. Cathedral trying to find open shots. So far, nothing to show for it. And a strange lack of screens coming in also from Cathedral. Beasley with it. Now Wilson. She's open. Does not take the shot. Wilson driving. She floats it up and gets it to fall. Now Mackenzie Woods. Shepard driving. Into the corner for Elliott. Her three. Rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Taylor Lewis. Triple team now. And a fast break coming for Cathedral. Driving, shooting, and finishing is Catherine Klein.
And the energy for this Cathedral team is starting to rise. 2 possessions in a row with the score has been hard to come by so far, but they just did it. Let's see if they can take the lead back in this game.
Fisher with it, guarded by Wilson. Fisher driving, back out for Elliott. She pump fakes, now for Perry. Perry working down low. Now Fisher driving, she puts it up and gets it. A fast-paced offense now for Cathedral. Passes up and out of bounds, it'll go the other way.
And just as you said, a pretty fast-paced offense for Cathedral, maybe too fast there. Not exactly sure what the game plan for them has been so far. Just like you mentioned earlier, a lack of screens. They're kind of just passing the ball around until they get an open shot.
Perry with it, on the elbow. Now to Woods driving. Turns, throws it up, cannot get it to go. Rebounded by Elliott. Back out for Taryn Fisher. Lauren Perry has not shot a 3 tonight. That is one of her strengths. Now Perry, thought about it. Down low for Elliott. She's double teamed. Now triple teamed. And she travels. And Coach Risinger's not happy about that. Jada Wilson at the top. Now Tiana Guy. Screen coming from Lewis. Guy driving. Now for Wilson. Guarded by Fisher. Another screen coming. Fed down low for Lewis. And they're called gonna call a foul on the floor against Lauren Perry.
And it's almost as they just heard us talking about the lack of screen setting. Looks like they're running some pick and roll with Wilson. Pretty good offensive game plan considering her ability to finish at the rim.
Well, Jamie Elliott checks back out after the travel. Megan Hom coming back in for the Hounds. Inbound, and it's going the other way.
Looks like they took too long to inbound the ball there. Might have been a 5-second violation.
Halfway through the third here. Woods driving. Out for Perry. Her three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Carmel. Megan Hom with it. Back out to Perry. Now to Mackenzie Woods, and they'll restart the offense. Perry in the corner. Driving. Her mid-range is no good. And an over-the-back call is called against Catherine Klein.
And Megan Hom really is one of the underappreciated players on this roster. She might not put up the most points, but she definitely comes out with the most energy every time. 2 forced offensive rebounds on that possession, and you know all the effort that she puts in on the defensive end.
Definitely, Dashaun. As Megan Hom on cue scores a mid-range. Beasley on the wing. Finds the space, gets it out for Wilson. Guy trying to work down the paint. Tipped away by Izzy Shepard, and she gets the steal. Megan Hom with it. She's driving on the left side, and she finishes for 2 more.
And she's really bringing the energy now. That's 2 possessions in a row where she scored. Carmel's looking to expand this lead possibly to double digits.
Gilmore feeds it down low, and it's poked away by the Hounds. It'll stay right here. 2:51 to play in the third. And kind of a mood switch here at the Eric Clark Activity Center. These fans are starting to feel it, and these Carmel players are playing with some energy.
Very true. I was just about to say, it looks like the crowd is becoming a component in this game, sort of a 6th man here for the Carmel roster.
Wilson with it on the wing. Skip pass over to Wilson. She's driving. Takes on 2 defenders. Cannot finish. Fisher and Hom both fighting for the rebound. Realize they're on the same team. Now Fisher driving. Gets to Elliott. Shepard with it. Now Hom trying to turn on the Jets. Guarded by Gilmore. Shepard driving with the left hand, cannot finish. Rebound Irish. Fast break now. Gilmore puts it up and gets it.
And the energy in this game has sort of shifted. Both teams playing with a little bit more pace and urgency. In the beginning, there was a lot of patience, not in a rush to get a bucket, but now it is completely changed.
Elliott with it. Hands it off to Fisher. Fisher nearly loses her pivot foot. Now Hom driving. She puts it up and gets it. Megan Hom coming off the bench, having herself a day. And a timeout called by the Irish. How about Megan Hom with 9 points off the bench so far?
You know, ironically, right after I brought up her underrated value on this team not being a scorer, she goes out and scores 6 points right after in just about 3 minutes. Great offensive effort, and we've seen her do that before. The last time we were here sitting down commenting a game, she went off. She's an absolute torch off the bench, and when she gets hot, she really starts to feel it and can put up a lot of points very quickly.
Yeah, and we saw it, like you said last time, kind of a slower first half, and then sort of found that spark in the second half, lit it up, got a standing ovation when she came out of the game. So definitely sort of that key player so far tonight is Megan Hom.
Very true, and something that we stress a lot when we commentate these games is the depth that Carmel has. Obviously, Lauren Perry isn't really doing her thing tonight. Hasn't hit a three, which is not very characteristic of her. Obviously, Mackenzie Woods has been struggling a little bit, not really playing like herself, but that's why you've got players like Megan who can come off the bench and really fuel your offense when you need them to.
Yeah, we're seeing Lauren Perry and Jamie Elliott, both starters with no points so far. So seeing some offense coming off the bench is really what's keeping Carmel in this game, as they're holding on to an 8-point lead right now, which seems like a massive lead compared to earlier. Wilson with it in the corner. Swung back around for Abby Beasley. Wilson guarded by Shepard. Gilmore has no options. Now it's Wilson again. Wilson driving. And her pass goes out of bounds. Less than a minute here to play in the third. And Carmel with a chance to go up by double digits.
Just a miscommunication on that last possession. When you've got a player like Wilson that can drive and a team that collapses, you've got to go out to the three-point line. Wilson's teammate thought she was there for a cut.
Shepard showing off the handles. Now it's Hom. Izzy Shepard with it. Hom driving to the lane, and she draws the foul. Megan Hom is in double digits tonight. Her 10th point. And Hom is 2 for 2 from the stripe. 10-point lead for Carmel. 30 seconds left in the third. Beasley with it. Now Gilmore in the corner. Guarded by Perry. Beasley again, now for Wilson. Down low for Lewis. And Lewis travels. And it leaves 12 seconds on the clock for Carmel to tack on one more before the end of this quarter. Coach Rissinger calling a play as the clock trickles down. Woods driving. Now in the corner for Shepard. Her three just no good. And nearly a putback by Woods, but that does it for the third quarter. Carmel extending to a 10-point lead, 27-17, and we're seeing a whole new Hounds team in the second half.
Very, very true. A whole new Hounds team that is being led and propelled by Megan Hom. 11 points off the bench, and 11 points in a game where points are hard to come by is very, very crucial. What a role she has played in this game.
Most definitely. Well, we have the final 8 minutes coming up. Carmel once again clinging to that 10-point lead. We've seen the offense show improvements by the Hounds, but the defense has really stepped up and shown to be the difference maker so far.
Yeah, and for Cathedral, I believe they need to play through their star player. Obviously, Jada Wilson isn't having her best night, but when she has the ball, good things are happening. I believe she's giving up the ball a little too fast, and the offense Cathedral is running, just passing the ball around the wing, just isn't working, and they've got to go to something new.
Yeah, Taylor Lewis we highlighted as likely the best player for this Cathedral team, and she only has 2 points so far tonight. So Carmel's defense has really been neutralizing the threat that is this Cathedral offense, and because of that, they have a double-digit lead. It's Cathedral ball to start the final quarter. Gilmore inbounding to Beasley. Gilmore in the corner, double team. Trying to feed it down low for Lewis, and she tips it out of bounds.
And the defensive effort by the Greyhounds continues to impress me. For the first 3 quarters of this game and continuing, they've just been on one on defense, hands in the passing lanes, great on-ball pressure, and that's why they're up in this game.
For sure, Dashaun. Woods with it, finding some traffic. Now it's Megan Hom. Woods with it, trying to find some room. Hom guarded tightly, hands it off to Fisher. Fisher driving, and she has it stripped away. Saving pass comes into Beasley, and she'll slow it down for the Irish. Down low for Lewis, and it's blocked.
And that's what it's about. Perry quickly goes in, picks up the open man under the basket, and gets a great block.
Lauren Perry not scoring tonight, but making herself known on defense. Shot is up and good for Taylor Lewis. Her third and fourth points tonight.
That's a good bucket to get at that point. It feels like Cathedral hasn't scored in forever.
Hom driving. Gives it to Woods in the corner. She's taking her time now. Screen coming from Perry. Shot is up and off the glass for Mackenzie Woods. Good looking shot there. Klein with it. Now into the corner for Guy. Fed down low for Triggs. She can't get it to go. This falls out of bounds and will stay right here for Cathedral.
And another block there by Lauren Perry, and another possession that ends with a stop for the Greyhounds. All night it's been the story, all game long, the Greyhounds defense.
Timeout is called. So far, fourth quarter score is just 2-2. Some excellent defense on both sides.
Very true, and a 2-2 score means two different things for this roster. For Cathedral, that means it's not good enough. For the Greyhounds, they're a little bit more happy with it because they've already got the double-digit lead, and they're trying to cruise here to the victory.
Yeah, at this point, especially if you're Carmel sitting at a 9-11 record, a win is a win, especially at double digits. So they're not concerned about, running up the score, trying to extend this lead. If they can play excellent defense, the shots don't have to fall.
Very, very true. The only thing they should be concerned about at this point is not letting go of this lead and coming out of here tonight with a win.
Carmel band in attendance tonight, bringing the energy here at the Eric Clark Activity Center. 6:21 to play. 29-19 Hounds lead. It'll be Cathedral ball at their own baseline. Beasley inbounding. She finds Lewis. Lewis puts it up. It's no good. Elliott fighting for the rebound. Falling out of bounds. Picked up by Megan Hom. Hom with it after kicking and screaming for it. She'll slow it down and call a play. Gets it to Woods. Woods gets the screen by Elliott. Fisher driving, puts it up, no good. Gets her own rebound after the tip from Lauren Perry, but it goes back to Cathedral. Driving and finishing is Klein. Woods moving fast, gets to Hom. Hom driving. Perry in the corner, chooses not to shoot. Now Mackenzie Woods taking her time. Hom driving. She gets the foul call, and she'll go to the line. So far, we're seeing that's part of Megan Hom's strength is she can drive, and she's typically oversized by her defender, but she can draw fouls and go to the line, and she's an excellent free throw shooter. So
very true, excellent free throw shooter. She also can stop on a dime, and she embraces the contact. Two things that can lead to a lot of foul calls.
First free throw's good. Izzy Shepard checks back in for the Hounds, giving Taryn Fisher a breather with 5:09 to play. Fisher gets a standing O from her bench. And Megan Helm goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Now it's Catherine Klein. On the wing, swung back around for Tiana Guy. Guy brings it across to the left side. Back to the top for Abby Beasley. And a foul incoming from Megan Hom.
Just a little too aggressive there
Yeah,
on
just
the incoming pass, but that's the type of foul you want to get. If you're a coach, that's the type of foul you want your players to get.
definitely. Inbound to Guy. She's driving. Takes on 2 defenders and finishes with the left hand. Shepard from behind the arc, driving now. Back out to Woods. Woods finds Elliott. Swung around for Hom. Shepard driving. She's got some room to run, and she's going to CHTV. Lauren Perry with it. Trying to move around a defender. Now it's Izzy Shepard. Down low for Elliott. Woods driving. Back out for Perry. She won't shoot. Shepard for 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Elliott. And pass is to a player in green. That's not what you want to see. Klein goes up for 3. No good. Rebound Cathedral. The putback's no good and sported up by Lauren Perry. I'm with it. Had an open Shepard but did not find her. That's back to Lauren Perry, swung around for Mackenzie Woods. Carmel milking the clock here. Just over 2 minutes to play now. Perry with the ball. Jamie Elliott trying to find an open teammate. She's guarded heavily. Finds Mackenzie Woods. Woods going towards the hoop. Brings it back out for Hom. Elliott with it at the top of the key. And this may be how the next 2 minutes go, as finally Cathedral forces a foul on Megan Hom. 1:40 to play and a 10-point lead for the Hounds.
And that possession took off quite a lot of time, similar to what Cathedral was doing in the first half. And if we see a couple more possessions like that from Carmel, this game will be all wrapped up.
Fisher back in for the Hounds. She gets the inbound. Cathedral does not foul yet. Sean, we've seen a few games from this Hounds girls team so far, and it's been a couple of close games, one win, one loss, but tonight we're seeing a more dominant Hounds team.
That is true. You know, this is a side of the Greyhounds that we haven't seen. You know, looking in on this matchup before the game started, we thought it'd be a pretty close game. And although 10 points isn't crazy, it's not some sort of crazy blowout, the score really doesn't tell the whole story. They truly dominated this game, even when it was close.
Yeah. I mean, for those of us that watched the whole game, you can tell it was in Carmel's hands pretty much the entire time, despite how close or distant the score was.
Yep, and I mentioned it at the end of the first quarter, it was just 4-4, and I could already tell that the energy for the Greyhounds was just there, and maybe it's just that benefit of being at home or the fact that they missed a couple of shots they should have made. But now they're up by 10 points, and Cathedral is going to resort to fouling. So after a couple of free throws, this game should be all but wrapped up.
Yeah, Cathedral kind of banking on making up a 10-point lead in 1 minute, and I don't see that happening, Dashaun.
I mean, crazier things have happened in the world of basketball. I'm not sure about in this building, but you always got to try.
First free throw is good, met by a roar from the student section. Woods goes 2 for 2. Under a minute to play. 12-point lead for Carmel. Shot is up and good for Jada Wilson, and a timeout is called. So that may not be all she wrote, Dashaun.
I mean, like I said before, crazier things have happened. Obviously, it's not the biggest of chances, and it won't happen, but it's possible.
Well, we knew this Cathedral team had a decent offense, and the biggest difference maker for Carmel has just been denying them shots. And so when they played sort of dummy defense and let Wilson shoot at will, she made her first attempt. And so that really shows, how close it could have been, or how much of a blowout it could have been in Cathedral's way if the defense wasn't that locked down all night by the Hounds.
Very true, and I also believe that it was due to the shot selection by Cathedral. Obviously, they're not the best ball-moving team. They have a lot of turnovers. So I think when you have an offense like that, you need to give the ball to your good players and just let them work. Not every team needs to be that system, functional, best shot type of team. Sometimes your better players are just better.
Inbound goes to Izzy Shepard, and she's fouled immediately. 45.7 on the clock. First free throw is good. Second free throw is no good. 45 seconds here. shot is up and good by Taylor Lewis.
And before this game was all but wrapped up, this Cathedral team seemed like they had no interest in shooting a three-pointer, and all of a sudden they can't miss one. Maybe they should have been shooting from long range earlier in this game.
Yeah, basketball is weird sometimes, Dashaun, and we're seeing it right here. 7-point lead with 38 seconds left. Should feel comfortable enough, but after back-to-back threes by the Irish, you're starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Hey, if they do that 7 more times, we'll be going to overtime.
We once again like to thank Pinnacle for supporting CHTV tonight. Possession error is in favor of the Hounds right now, so a jump ball would not do it for Cathedral.
So obviously they're just going to resort to fouling and hope that whoever gets fouled isn't the best free throw shooter. However, the Hounds are a pretty good free throw shooting team, if I do say so myself.
Hounds need a clean inbound here. 38 seconds. And is not a clean inbound. Falls over. Taryn Fisher, and she pokes it out of bounds. Just a few seconds. Sheared off the clock, and it's still a 7-point lead with Cathedral in possession of the ball.
And that is exactly how they wanted that possession to go. Let's see if they can make things interesting here.
Taking a lot of time on the inbound, but they get it in. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound, and a jump ball.
And it's almost like you predicted it a couple seconds ago. You said the possession arrow was in favor of the Greyhounds and a jump ball wouldn't be good enough. And just as you said it, it happened.
Well, Taylor Lewis checks out. She made the three earlier, and a timeout is called under 30 seconds to play.
And that just wasn't the shot you were looking for there. Although 30 seconds doesn't seem like a lot of time, it's enough time for you to pass the ball and get a better shot than that. I mean, that was just contested like crazy. Maybe she was going for a foul there, but just not the best decision in my opinion.
Yeah, if you're Cathedral, you're looking for the first even fathomable open shot. It doesn't have to be the best shot. You don't have to create the best possible shot, but just the first time that you get an open look, you have to take it. And I would not be surprised if they put in some of their bigs in to hopefully get more rebounds.
That would not be a bad strategy. Maybe even overloading the rebound area and just having one shooter take the long-range three. I mean, there's not much else you can do besides chuck it up and pray at this point.
Lewis throws it up and hits.
Wow.
It's a 4-point game, Dashaun. $18.8 to go. Carmel finally gets a clean inbound. Mackenzie Woods will go to the line.
And now what you can't do is miss.
2 free throws is kind of needed here.
If you miss either of these free throws here, this game really starts to get interesting.
Yeah. Wait, even if she makes them both, it's still a 6-point game, which would still make it 2 possessions. So, worst case scenario going on for the Hounds. And really not too much time has gone off the clock.
That is true. It was just 53 seconds and a 10-point lead a couple minutes ago.
First free throw is good. And a sigh of relief from Hounds faithful. Second free throw's no good. Rebounded by Guy. Beasley with it, and a timeout is called.
So now we've got 15 seconds and a 5-point lead. If you knock down a 3 here, things really start to get interesting.
For sure. And with a 5-point game, you know you need 2 possessions to tie or take the lead. Would not be surprised if Cathedral settles for a 2 on this possession. If it's the right look, if you see it from the inbounds, take the stronger and higher percentage shot and then play for a tie ball game.
Although that is a good point, I do think that they'll go to the 3-pointer here just because they've hit, 4 of those shots
Right,
so
that is the hot hand right now. But at this point, it's no longer desperation and much more strategy.
That is true. Now that they're within 5, it seems plausible. But we'll see what they do here.
Tiana Guy will do the inbound for Cathedral. 15.1 seconds on the clock.
You're going to want to be looking for number 32, Taylor Lewis here.
Inbound is taken away by Izzy Shepard, stripped from Jada Wilson, and she'll go to the line.
And what a defensive play right there. If she's able to knock down both of these free throws, that pretty much wraps this up.
Like you said, 2 free throws is pretty much everything but the final buzzer, as the first free throw is crisp from Izzy Shepard. Second free throw rattles out. 11 seconds here to play. Shot is up, and a foul is called against Taryn Fisher. Taylor Lewis will go to the line shooting 3 with 5.6 to play.
And just when we thought this game was over, more drama here in the Eric Clark Activity Center, but she's got to make all 3 of these to stay in the game.
5.6 seconds. First free throw's no good.
And I believe I can say this with confidence. Unless something otherworldly happens, we can pretty much wrap this one up.
A rebound by Cathedral on the third shot could bring him back. Second free throw's good.
That is true. I think the play is to intentionally miss and get a free throw.
That's believable, Dashaun. 5-point game, 5 seconds to play. Lewis hits the third free throw. Perry inbounding. Goes for a baseball pass. Finds Izzy Shepard. She's got some room to run. She cannot finish, as a foul is called with 0.1 seconds to play. It looked like Jamie Elliott was intentionally fouling. And they'll inbound it for a moment.
Clock goes up to 0.6, so I guess it's possible for an and 1-3 to go in here and to send us to overtime.
You know, I would not be surprised, Dashaun. Hail Mary is well short, and that'll do it. Hounds hold on to win. Much closer than we hoped, but a win nonetheless. And that's what we talked about earlier. You know, this Hounds team, they're far improved from last year, but this is not quite the championship caliber team that is expected. And so blowing out teams like Cathedral isn't necessarily the expectation. A 4-point win is more than enough, and they definitely outplayed Cathedral tonight up until the last 50 seconds.
true. And with that said, although they did end up coming out with the win not the way you wanted to, I mean, you had a 10-point lead with 50 seconds left, and somehow the game ended as a 4-point game with the other team in possession. Now, for the other side, Cathedral, I don't understand why they weren't shooting the three-pointer for the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, this should be sort of a wake-up call for the Irish to say, hey, we were heavily guarded in the first half, some great defense, but when we had the open shots and took them, they hit them. And so would not be surprised if that's the key point in practice and what we see in this next game from the Irish.
Very, very true. And I was a little surprised to see such a three-point shooting performance at the end of this game, given the amount of space that the Greyhounds were giving the Irish in the first 3 quarters of the game.
Well, Dashaun, we definitely know the player of the game, and that's Megan Hom. Another great performance off the bench, 12 points, and she did it, honestly, in a super exciting fashion. Like, she brought energy into the stadium. She made the fans come to life. She made the bench a little bit jumpy and really was the highlight of tonight.
Very true. That's the way she always plays. Very, very electric. She came out, hit the 3, started feeling herself a little bit, and that's when she started getting to the lane, going through the lane, getting to the basket, couple of and ones, and that'll get you up in the double digits really quick.
And that's definitely her difference maker, is her confidence. We're talking about getting the and ones, drawing fouls, and she's not afraid to attack the biggest guy in the team and take him down the lane and draw a foul.
That is very, very true. Confidence level seems to play a very big role in her game. When she's feeling herself and when she has the hot hand, she can really be a difference maker on both ends of the floor.
Well, that's all from us. Thank you again for joining us. Carmel holds on to win. I have been Boudouris with Dashaun Barnes. Have a great night.